Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, the Show Off. Welcome back to Loose Change. Like and subscribe to my page. And I'm back with the cheating game part 3. At the end of the last video, I told y'all that I was going to add some other components to this whole thing. And I'm going to try to do so as quickly as possible. As y'all know, I'm on my way into work. So let's try to get to it and get through it. Alright? First of all, in the first video, y'all know I was talking about the shortages of men, so I wanted to add some other components other than those numbers that added some truth to this whole conversation. Alright? Now, sometimes it's just basically your choice. Alright? Now, ladies, you create the ideal man. Alright? What I mean by that, in black culture or whatnot, you tend to set the bar for what a man looks like or what he should look like in order to be able to attract your attention, all right? So, just a few examples. Ladies started getting into dreads. They started posting about men with dreads or whatever the case may be, and then you just saw a burst in people starting to grow dreads. Ladies started to talk about beards and or whatnot, and then all of a sudden you just saw men trying to grow beards or whatever the case may be. Ladies wanted us to start slimming down on our clothes, and then all of a sudden you saw a burst of dudes slimming down on their clothes or whatnot. The gray pants, sweatpants, outbursts, all of these things, right? So you create the image of the trend that men follow, all right? Trying to make you happy, trying to be appealing towards you. Now the problem with that comes in is that man who follows those trends is trying to impress multiple women. And he becomes, if he has all of those things that are hot at that time, he becomes appealing to more women than, say, someone who just basically rides out life and continues being themselves and being who they want to be, all right? So you're placing yourself and your ideals, your ideal person, in a pool, all right? So y'all are all constantly fighting over the same dudes, fighting to get the same dude's attention, whatever the case may be, all right? Because if this person has all of these characteristics, he's attractive to more women, all right? More women who are into that trend-finding thing, rather than judging a man based off of his... First of all, a man is actually judged on a sliding scale. So if your sliding scale has nothing to do with how a person treats you, you're going to lose. If you find all of those physical things, those physical attributes, to be more important than how a person treats you, and you find yourself compromising how a person treats you, you're going to lose every time, all right? That shortens the numbers for you, first of all, because there's very few people who has all of those physical attributes. So once you get to the point of meeting someone who has all of those physical attributes, which there are far and few in between, then you have to get that one. And then you have to be the only one. Alright? You have to be the only one that he's paying attention to. Alright? Which, even if that was possible, guess what that takes? That takes effort. You have to be around. All of a sudden, you find yourself fighting yourself, or fighting for this man's attention, or not even fighting for this man's attention. Now you have an internal struggle within yourself to be able to continue life, hanging out with your friends or doing whatever the case may be, and yet trying to keep this man's attention. And the expectation generally is that that man's attention should be on you, no matter whether your attention is on him or not. It's a lot to ask. All right? So, moving on to the next thing. We're talking about the population of men, population of black men, or whatnot. We like I spoke on women outnumbering men 10-1 in the first video, right? Now, available men would be men that are on the outside, okay? So out of everything in the world, every crime that could be committed in the United States, what do you think is the number one thing that has men behind bars? Because if they're not out on the outside, they can't contribute to your life and add to your life properly. So what is the one thing that you think actually has men behind bars? Is it murder, armed robbery, gang violence, drugs, I don't know, securities fraud? The answer is none of those things. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, except if that weapon is you. Ladies, the main thing that has our men, black men, off the streets is something that they will never tell you. Child support. There are more men behind bars for child support than any other thing. More black men behind bars for child support than any other thing. So that means, ladies, there's nothing, first of all, let me start here. There's nothing more gut-wrenching than to be in family court and see women who don't even know each other celebrating over one baby daddy going to jail, to come out and high-five each other because they're going to pick up another black man and lock them up over child support. Now, in essence, ladies, what they do is they take you and they utilize you to make possibly going into a hard time illegal. Meaning, it's illegal. It becomes illegal because of the weapon that they use, which is you. It becomes illegal for a man to lose his job, get laid off, so on and so forth, okay? He gets laid off his job, he gets behind on his child support, they go pick his ass up. You did that. You did that. And the reason I say that is, there are more men who are on child support that don't deserve to be there than there are men that actually deserve to be there. Granted, there are men that deserve to be there who refuse to do nothing, who refuse to do anything for their children, and they deserve to be there. But the majority of men who are on child support are on child support because they had a disagreement with someone, or one person wanted to do something one way or at a certain time, or whatever the case may be. This is the actual truth that no one talks about. So it has nothing to do with the child and the child's needs. It's all about ego. All right? No one's ego is a reason for someone to end up in jail because they lose their job, or because their job is treating them terribly, or whatever the case may be, or because there aren't any jobs out there at certain periods, certain points, or something that there isn't anything out there that he might be qualified for, or no one is giving him a chance, or whatever the case may be. Should he go to jail for that? Is that a crime? Absolutely not. Yet you are utilized as that. That takes good men off the streets. Put them behind bars. They can't do anything for anybody, be good to any woman, because someone had a problem with them. Whether it's like the relationship ending or whatever the case may be. Like I said, not every man that is on child support deserves to be on child support. So, that actually takes good men off of the streets. So that actually cuts further into the available good men that there are for these so-called ladies. I mean, for these ladies. All right. Now, finally, I want to say this. What is it that you deem a good man to be? Because that is very important. A good man is whatever you deem him to be. All right? Now, are your expectations reasonable? You know what I'm saying? Ladies you can't keep on cheating on the good man that goes out and works and does all of these things that he does properly. If you cheat on him or break up with him or whatever the case may be, you make your exit however you make it or whatever you decide to do that may hurt him or whatever the case may be. You can't keep complaining that you don't have a good man if you're cheating on him because he's working, or if you leaving him because he doesn't have time because he works a lot, or whatever the case may be. Even in your selection process, when you're actually going through the process of actually trying to get to know someone, if you keep looking for negatives, you'll find them, even if they don't truly exist, because that's what you want to see. All right? So a lot of you disqualify good people before they even have a chance to show you how good they are. Because see, the thing about it is, you ladies think you are owed the perfect man just because you're a woman. So from the very jump, you think that he's supposed to be this certain type of dude. This dude that is just all the way 100% into you. We know with social media, we have access to anybody. Okay? So it is up to you to decide how much energy you want to put into finding out how good a man is. And if you're out here picking a man that you know is not good for you, and that you know, if you out here picking the same type of dude and going through the same type of thing over and over again, maybe it's you. Not even on some shit like it's you as a person. Maybe it's just the way that you're out here picking. I know some people, I've known some stories personally, that I know a story in which this chick told one dude, and she meant this, I've never ever had someone do the things that you do for me. And yet, she doesn't give this man a shot. She never gave this man a shot. So when I was talking about that sliding scale earlier, that sliding scale, if you're not prioritizing how a person treats you, because whatever they look like, you're going to get used to it. However much money they got, it's going to normalize. It's going to be something that you get used to, and it's not going to mean as much to you later on. But how a person treats you should be at the top of your list when it comes to evaluating a man. And your sliding scale should go towards that if you ever want to win. Alright? You can have a man with all of these things, all of those physical attributes, or whatever the case may be, but if they treat you like shit, if they treat you like, if you are dispensable, and that's the thing, when you meet a person who has it all, you are pretty much dispensable. When the person, because there's someone, just as a woman is, just the same way by the same token, just as a woman, when you meet someone who has it all, there are people coming for that. So losing you could be a big deal by your standards, but by his standards, not so much. It's the trip. Be ready to build. Be ready to build. If you want someone that is going to be, some people get lucky and they end up in fruitful situations. Very few people get lucky and end up in fruitful situations when they're chasing someone that has it all. But when you get someone who has it all already before you come, there is a very large chance that that person is not going to give you the respect that you think that you believe. I mean, that you believe that you should have, based off the fact that they believe that you're only there for those things. In which most cases, you're only there for those things. So they're not exactly wrong. So your willingness to build, because God blesses those things. God don't bless messes. When you're willing to build, God will bless you with those things together that you get together. That's why being with someone is supposed to be a forever commitment, not temporary. Not, I want to get married. No, I want to be married. All of those things. So if you really want something that's going to work, be ready to build it. Show off.